In Matthew chapter 8, Christ heals the servant of a Roman centurion, and he makes a comment about the centurion's faith, and he says, "And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth." So this is just to emphasize the point that it doesn't matter what nation you live in, or who your parents are, or what particular tribe you're from. What matters is your faith and your relationship with Christ. There are some people, I live in Utah, there are some members of the church that will sometimes talk about having pioneer ancestry as if that means something, as if it means, and it's not very often, and it's more of a stereotype. Most people are very good about this, actually, in my actual experience, but I could imagine, I guess I can't think of any particular examples of someone who actually thinks this way, but I can think of a stereotype of someone who thinks this way, that they have pioneer ancestry and are therefore, more authentically a member of the church or something like that. Something that I do come across occasionally. I came across it yesterday at church. We were talking about the Constitution and President Oak's talk, and they're talking about how the United States is a promised land, because the Book of Mormon talks about it like a promised land. But the scriptures also talk about Israel being a promised land. The only thing that makes something a promised land is that it's promised to a particular faithful group. It doesn't mean that the people who live there are any better or worse than anyone else. What it boils down to is people living the gospel. And in the end, we're all promised heaven. And heaven, the celestial kingdom, is our promised land that we should be striving for. And it doesn't matter what country you live in.